Welcome to Open the Gate. Tonight, my super guest is very excited, and also she's just the simple and very famous Diane Pernet. So, Diane, I'm a bit confused because you've been through a lot, and you come from far, and there is many steps before you arrive where you are now. I know that you've been a designer, that you've been a photographer, now you're a very famous blogger, but I know there is many things between all those steps. Can you tell us more about it, please?
Sure. Well, how far back do we want to go?
You choose.
Let's see. Okay. My degree's in filmmaking, and I went to a school where documentaries was the main thing. So of course I was into fiction, but then I got back to documentaries. I moved to New York. I became a photographer, reportage photographer, not fashion. And then I went to school for 9 months, Parsons and FIT. And then I decided if I really wanted to stay in fashion, I would have to quit immediately because I was losing all interest because it was very regimented, and that's not really the way I thought. So I started my own collection, but I really had no idea what I was doing. I mean, I didn't know, like, you're supposed to show 6 months in advance of when you deliver. And I would, like, show spring in March. And the stores bought it because I didn't know how to price. So I was, like, I was actually paying to sell to them. But it went, like, amazingly easy in the beginning because probably it was just a matter of growing up in public. And then I had my own business for 13 years.
Okay.
So I guess I must have learned somewhere along the line. And it was in New York. And then I moved in the end of 1990 to Paris. Absolutely no strategy whatsoever. But I was supposedly going to be a costume designer for a film by Amos Gatai.
Okay.
Called Gollum l'Esprit d'Exia. But when I saw him, then what did I do? It was very hard the first 3 years in Paris, just surviving, you know, having been kind of big face in New York and starting from nowhere. But I got a job with CBC, like assisting the producer. I was highly overqualified, which she knew, but I didn't care. And then from that, I think I became fashion editor for Joyce Ma. I was the first one that brought like Belgian designers to Hong Kong, and Italians like Armani and Emilio Master, Dries Van Noot, and Martin Margiela, all those people. And I did that for like 4.5 years. I was the entire Paris office. Then from there, I think I went to Elle.com.
Digital, finally.
Yes. And that was like in 2000.
Okay.
Or 2001. 2000, I think, I don't know.
So the very beginning of internet, the big boom.
Yeah. And I had been, before that, or at the same time, I was working with this guy, Alex Chetvertinsky, who had a production company called Disciple Films.
Okay.
Because I was trying to teach myself how to edit. And I was having a hard time, and I went on and I used to ask this friend of mine, one of my dearest friends, who actually bought me the computer with the software of Final Cut Pro and all. And I was asking him a million questions. He was like, you know, there's this forum for Final Cut Pro users, and someone somewhere in the world at any hour can answer your questions. So I'd had all these videos I'd made, like of Bernard Wilhelm and all these people, but I didn't edit them because I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
So we started working together, and we worked together for like 5 years making films, and did something for Galerie Lafayette. It was kind of great, called Fashioned Out.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you go to all the shows, you're fashioned out. And so that's why we called it. And it was like the first couple days of doing it, or this first day of doing it, I had asked Gilles Dufour, you know, he used to be the right hand of Carl for, I don't know, 17 years, if I could interview him. Because I wanted to do something for him. I know he left, and it was kind of a bad moment.
Okay.
And he said, and he was doing something with Andre at the time. Just Andre did all his drawings.
Okay.
And that was kind of the exhibition. He goes, okay, come back at 6 o'clock. I'll give you the interview with Catherine Deneuve. So, of course, I waited around. I left Dries Van Noten right before the show started. They were like horrified. But it was so late, and I thought, even if I have to wait for 2 hours
Yeah, of course.
for Catherine, I have to do that. You know.
Could you feel at this time it was like a precious object that you had in your mind that you could like make a big boom out of it?
Well, I was having fun. I
Yeah.
wasn't really, I've never been very strategic.
Okay.
It's always, I'm more organic about things.
Okay.
But I knew, like, Catherine Deneuve, like, remember Jurgi Persons?
Yes, very well.
He's a really great designer.
Yeah.
I love his work. Well, he had a show, I think it was his last show at Galerie Lafayette.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the same moment that we had the windows, because what we did, there was 3 guys that were like 25 years old, and me, not 25, but we would work all day making like sound bites, funny things, little clips from runways, but that was minor. And at night we'd edit it. I did voiceovers like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And by 9 o'clock in the morning, it was in the windows of Galerie Lafayette. So it was
cool.
in the window of Galerie Lafayette, and it stayed there like 3 weeks. It was like every day. That was the first time. The second time we did 3 countries. And then in February 2005, I started my blog because there's this girl, Anina.net, doesn't know much about fashion, but she's really tech savvy.
Okay.
And she asked me if I would consider using this new software called life blogging.
Okay.
And it was very new at the time. In the beginning, it's like, you know, a blog is like a monster. You have to feed it every day.
Yeah.
You can't go to sleep without putting something new on. And in the beginning, it was all kind of, it was just my voice. And then I started thinking, it's a huge thing to be filling this every day. And 2, I'm getting sick of hearing my own voice. So, and 3, I'm getting invited everywhere, but I can't go everywhere. I mean, there's a limit to what you can
physically
endure.
also and mentally.
Yeah. I mean, I was on a plane nonstop. And I started meeting people in different countries, on different trips. People that share a similar vision, and I'd say, how would you like to be a correspondent? And then sometimes I send them on trips instead of me.
Oh, good.
And they're very happy. You know,
How much people do you have in this correspondent team?
Well, I'm going to reduce it a bit because there's going to be a new website. It should open tomorrow, but I'm not sure that it actually will. But we've been working on it for 2.5 years. It's a 3rd set of web designers, and I love these guys. Silva.
A new website.
Yeah, and it's going to combine the blog with the film festival.
Excellent.
Because originally the film festival was a satellite of the blog, and now the blog is kind of a satellite of the festival.
So you are directing this whole blog, and in 2005, like you were saying, you started the film festival, which is like an opening for young designers that are dealing with fashion and art and movie to create a beautiful film and to present it into your festival. How much people do you have that wants to be a part of this festival?
There were like 600 applications for films.
And you select only?
And I selected, for the actual competition, about 80.
80, okay.
And then there's, and I got people saying things like, you know, I think you should reconsider this rejection.
Why?
Can you imagine? Because
it's
they
huge,
really wanted to be in it.
Of course.
And it's like, yeah, but I have reconsidered.
Yeah.
Because I watch every single film.
Yeah.
But you asked me how many contributors to the blog. The ones that will move over to the new site will be about 40.
Okay, wow.
But there were probably about 80. Not that they contribute all the time.
Yeah.
They contribute whenever they want.
Here and there.
You know, the way I work with my contributors is when you have something to say, you say it. There's no obligation, there's no anything.
And also, Diane, like, I mean, all those projects that you have, and now this new website that's going to gather the 2 babies that you have, is there any, like, big project that you have in mind? I know you're working on a biography that will come maybe in a few years, I hope.
Yeah.
We hope.
Yeah,
Is
I
there
hope so.
anything to talk about?
Yeah, I'm also working on 4 fragrances.
Wow.
I just had a meeting yesterday.
Diane Pernet fragrances.
Yeah, it's going to be called To Be Honest by Diane Pernet.
Wow, that's amazing.
And we just finalized. Can you smell this at all? This is one of them, the one that we've...
Yes, you were
kind
yeah,
of
I smelled
woody.
it when you arrived. It's very beautiful.
Because this is, I've been working on this since last December. And now
it's quite unisex also.
Yes, that's important to me. Because I hate wearing perfumes for women.
I would like to wear it. Keep me a
I'll
bottle.
I'll give you some when we have to now work on figuring out the packaging. But
a big black thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Something that
with a mini veil on it.
Yeah, I thought of like different things, like maybe a head that you could twist off. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't want it to look like, you know, Gautier, like a corset or something. I had thought, you know, this Ivo Bisagno had done a drawing of me that looked like a little sculpture.
Yeah?
It was quite beautiful. I thought, oh, it could be nice molded, but then I think maybe it's going to end up looking like Gautier or something.
Well, I mean, this all look, how did it start it? I'm sure you're not born with it. When did you start it?
Well, I like to think, you know, you all came out of the womb with high hair and a veil. You know, the whole family looks like that, but in fact, it's not true. I used to have flat hair.
Yeah?
And curly hair. It got straighter because I used to straighten it so much.
Yeah, I saw very old pictures of you, like your beautiful long hair, like this.
Well, I'm not as beautiful as your hair. Your hair is like fantastic. My first collection as a designer was probably, I think, 1978 or 79, before you were born.
Yes.
But I was 10. I was a child prodigy. I was like Tavi, you know. I started my business, you know. And I've always been kind of height challenged.
Okay.
Because I'm 5'2", and I always felt I was meant to be taller. So I wear very high platform shoes, and my hair sort of kept evolving.
Okay.
And I think, like when I started designing, it was still flat. I kind of pushed it over to one side, kind of messy. Like I liked the idea of Anna Magnani just rolled out of bed look.
Yeah.
She's always been an icon for me, Anna Magnani, although I don't look anything like her. And Sophia Loren. Because you asked me about inspirations. Well, there aren't any direct inspirations. You know, it's like a bunch of things I like, but none of them are really look like what I look like.
Yeah.
You know, it could be Marie Antoinette, it could be Goya, it could be Anna Magnani. But then again, it's none of them, you know.
Okay.
And the hair just kept rising.
Yeah, I heard about that. No, we are very excited. I'll be there tomorrow, and
it's great.
I wish you all the good luck, and we will be looking for all the projects and perfumes and dolls and everything.
Great.
And yeah, good luck with everything.
And you're the best too.
Thank you so much for coming.
I'd never go to Antwerp without Ra.
Thank you, darling.
Thanks.
It was Open the Gate. We hope to see you next week, same day, same time.
I'm also a talent scout. But what interested me the most is making little intimate lo-fi films and promoting young directors with my festival.